The 91st Annual American Farm Bureau Federation Convention was held in Seattle recently to help the organization focus on upcoming legislation and issues for 2010. In this report, the Monitor's Ryan Naquin tells us that while many farmers are facing tough battles at home, there may be even tougher legislative battles in our nation's capital.
At our nation's fourth busiest port, there are no strangers to agriculture. And like the famous Seattle Space Needle, Farm Bureau members who attended this year's convention learned that it was time to stand out and stand up.
It is more vital than ever that we communicate about our values, that we convey how food production today is compatible with traditional ideals. We hear much about sustainability, which in my book is the most overused and ill-defined word in the policy arena today. The first sustainability for agriculture has to be economic sustainability. Without that, farmers and ranchers will not be on the land to provide all the rest of the sustainables that some are demanding.
In his speech, President Stallman focused on the struggles that face agriculture today and how, as an organization, the Farm Bureau must face these challenges head on.
The time has come to face our opponents with a new attitude. The days of their elitist power grabs are over. We must take up this new mission even as we continue to carry out our traditional duties.
Georgia Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall was a big part of this year's convention and says it's always important for members to know how critical American Farm Bureau is to them.
We are very attentive of what's going on in our state and also on a national level, but our teammate in defending agricultural rights and issues and policies is American Farm Bureau.
Duvall said he also agrees with AFB President Bob Stallman when he says the Farm Bureau must face these challenges.
You know, our organization and this organization needs to be proactive. We need to use the technology that's at hand now so that we can tell the people our side of the story. We've said that for years and years and years. It's more important today than ever before that we tell agricultural story. This group of people knows and understands better than anybody how important being able to feed our people in this country. We know it better than anyone else.
At the convention, Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture Tommy Irvin received AFB's highest honor, the Distinguished Service Award, for his outstanding work in the agricultural sector. Irvin has served 41 consecutive years as the Commissioner of Agriculture and attributes his long-standing term to a job that he enjoys.
Always looking forward to going to all this each and every day. But none of this would be possible. I didn't have the great support of Farm Bureau members.
So our industry, especially in the Southeast, we actually stepped it up a little bit.
Nancy Sanders from Greene County represented Georgia at this year's discussion meet and says the convention allows members to gain knowledge from one another.
We all come from diverse backgrounds, and it's important to realize that everybody has something to offer, and not everybody's the same, and that you can learn from each other and then take those experiences and that knowledge to better yourself and to expand agriculture.
Pike County farmer Matt Bottom's convention was his first, and he says it's opened his eyes to the depth of Farm Bureau.
There's a lot of things that I haven't realized how many different programs that are offered through Farm Bureau until I get here and I actually walk through the trade show and see the different booths set up, and there's been a few things that I'd like to check into for my personal as well as my business, to just see if I can make some applications of things that I've seen here to my business.
Bottom says that more farmers should get out into their communities and educate non-farmers how important agriculture is to them.
It's almost like a light turns on, where they see that their clothes come from agriculture, their food comes from different sectors of agriculture, their housing, almost every aspect of their life ties back to agriculture.
The keynote speaker at this year's event was four-time Super Bowl champion Terry Bradshaw. He spoke about how his youth on a Louisiana farm shaped his life and the funny situations that he encountered. Georgia Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall also had a little fun with Bradshaw.
And he says he's been in some movies. Well, I got a TV show. It's called the Georgia Farm Monitor.
But all jokes aside, the issue American farmers face right now is the cap-and-trade bill, and it was the topic of discussion for everyone at the convention.
Our message to Congress about cap and trade is clear. Don't cap our future.
We understand what that bill is going to do to agriculture. The average American has no clue of what cap and trade is going to do to them personally and to an industry that they depend on each and every day to supply them with the food for them and their families. People take for granted that we eat 3 times a day, and we do it at a cost that is just a portion of what the rest of the world does.
Cap and trade looks to be a huge issue that will be fought by the Farm Bureau in 2010, and it might even be the discussion for next year when the American Farm Bureau Convention comes to Atlanta. In Seattle for the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Ryan Naquin.